The executive branch has vandalized the Constitution every bit as much as the barbarians sacked Rome in 410 AD. The executive branch has destroyed the Constitution's time-honored checks and balances, taken the nation perilously close to executive despotism. The executive branch rejects the basic philosophical tenets of the United States of America. It does not accept that America was conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that sovereignty in a republican form of government lies with the people, not with the executive. That there are no vassals or serfs in the Constitution's landscape. That every man and woman is a king or queen, but no one wears a crown. And that the rule of law is the nation's civic religion. And the Founding Fathers fashioned impeachment as a remedy for attacks against the constitutional order. And let me identify just three. The President's claims of war power. What he has asserted in the aftermath of 9/11 is that every square inch of the world, including the United States, is an active battlefield, including where we're sitting at present. And that if he has a suspicion, maybe by his gut instincts or otherwise, that there's Al-Qaeda or an international terrorist anywhere, he can use military force, he can impose military law in order to wage war, in his view, successfully. He can invade Iran if he thinks that's necessary to succeed in the war against international terrorism, irrespective of what this branch may do. Now that truly is an alarming power. That means that we all have a sword of Damocles over our head, because anytime any president claims that he is fighting international terrorism, he can kidnap, arrest, kill anyone he thinks is an international terrorism. There is no second guessing him. He doesn't go to court and ask for probable cause, because in wartime you shoot first and ask questions later. Now it's true he hasn't asserted that authority in the United States. He shot rockets in Yemen, Macedonia, elsewhere. Not in the United States yet. But we shouldn't have to wait around until we have a coup before we take protective action. I recall in our own colonial history, in 1766, after the British Parliament had repudiated the Stamp Act because we had protested no taxation without representation, they came back with the Declaratory Act saying, by the way, even though we withheld that tax now, we still have power to regulate you in any matter whatsoever. And that fueled the Declaration of Independence. The Founding Fathers didn't say, oh, they haven't asserted the authority yet, let's wait till the tyranny comes. Now, a second area relates to the rule of law. When the President says he's seeking to gather foreign intelligence, he can flout any restriction that this legislative body has placed in the gathering of foreign intelligence. That is what he did after 9/11. Open and notorious, he's confessed. He decided he would flout the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, which placed limits, very modest ones, on the ability to gather foreign intelligence because of 40 years of disclosed abuses by the Church Committee and other committees of this Congress. He also claimed not only could he violate the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, but any limitation, in his view, any limitation on his ability to gather foreign intelligence was unconstitutional. Thus, he could kidnap, detain in secret prisons, in violation of limitations saying, I'm gathering foreign intelligence. He could open mail. He can burglarize homes, all in the name of gathering foreign intelligence. A frightening power, and he has not renounced that to this day. He's also asserted the right to shield what he has done from review and oversight by this body. And just to give an example, if you remember your history, and I know Liz does because she was here like me in Watergate. Watergate brought down President Nixon largely because a former White House counsel in the same position of Harriet Miers, who refused to show up before this committee, related to the Senate Watergate Committee Oval Office conversations he had with the President of the United States. His name was John Dean. And I remember very vividly the entire nation, including you, Mr. Chairman, had your eyes riveted on his testimony. Oh, it would be wrong to pay off the burglars. And that was the reason why we restored the rule of law, because we had testimony about the Oval Office conversations. Exactly the kind of privilege that this president is asserting prevents this Congress from overseeing anything that this president might have done.
Chairman, the gentleman's time has expired.
Let me just conclude with deference to Congressman King from a quote by Tacitus, which I think explains the dilemma we confront now. as the Roman Republic degenerated into the Roman Empire and dictatorship, he said, the worst crimes were dared by few, practiced by more, but tolerated by all. Thank you.